South Africa is entering a very dangerous period, and many people still do not understand how serious the situation is, because when unemployment, poverty, weak borders, crime, and political frustration collide, societies begin looking for someone to blame. Recently, anti-illegal immigration protests have intensified in parts of South Africa, especially in Durban and Johannesburg. Hear me out. Groups are demanding stricter immigration enforcement, as they should, while many foreign nationals are now living in fear after protests escalated. And because we now live in the age of social media, every incident spreads instantly across the continent and the world. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth that many intellectuals in South Africa or Africa fail to confront. South Africa is not the first African country to experience tensions around illegal immigration. In 1969, Ghana introduced the Aliens Compliance Order under Prime Minister Kofi Bosua. Hundreds of thousands of undocumented migrants, many of them Nigerians, were expelled from Ghana. In 1983, Nigeria responded with its own mass deportation campaign after economic decline and unemployment intensified. Around 2 million undocumented migrants, many of them Ghanaians, were forced to leave Nigeria. So this issue is not uniquely South African. Many people fail to mention this part of history. African countries themselves have historically struggled with illegal immigration, nationalism, unemployment, and economic pressure. Now, we need to be honest. Illegal immigration is a real issue. Many poor South Africans genuinely feel pressure around jobs, housing, public services, informal trading, and crime. And if you live comfortably in gated communities like many politicians and many businessmen do, you may never fully understand the frustrations people in poor communities experience daily. But history also shows us something very uncomfortable. Removing illegal immigrants alone rarely magically fixes unemployment, inequality, corruption, or state failure, because deeper structural problems still remain. And another thing people are not discussing is the narrative. Ever since South Africa took this country to the ICJ, global attention on South Africa intensified. First came the white genocide narrative. Now international headlines focus on xenophobia. And while xenophobic violence absolutely deserves criticism, we should also understand how global media narratives can simplify extremely complicated social problems into emotionally powerful labels. And this is where things become a bit tragic. Many vulnerable Africans who came to South Africa are also escaping poverty, corruption, unemployment, or state failure from their own countries. So ordinary Africans end up fighting each other, while political elites across the continent continue failing their people. And that cycle benefits nobody except politicians and those in power globally. People absolutely have the right to demand secure borders, functioning immigration systems, and accountability from government. But violence against vulnerable people will never solve structural economic problems, guys. South Africans need smarter, lawful, and more strategic ways to pressure the government without turning poor Africans into enemies. Because